the country was, I mean, there were riots, there was all sorts of fright in this country at that time. And the status quo wanted someone who was going to come in and protect them.
And other cities were burning. I mean, Detroit,
Right, yeah.
New York, in severe crisis.
And one of the ways you protect people is to really get them scared in the first place. So let's get them frightened first, and then I'll come in and save you. I'm the whole Bicentennial thing was a national kind of joke. They would put him on, saying he had the troops coming, and nobody else showed up.
I'm a little younger than the Rizzo generation. I didn't grow up in Philadelphia, and I grew up in California. So I didn't come up with Rizzo lore.
Right.
And so when I learned about his relationship with Nixon,
Oh,
that
yeah.
threw me.
Yeah.
Because Rizzo was a Democrat. Of course, Nixon was a very strongly Republican, very conservative Republican. And yet they had a kind of thing going on.
Oh, yeah, to the point where Rizzo's offices did everything they could to shut down the McGovern committee here. McGovern's campaign offices were right next to City Hall, and they couldn't get their phones hooked up. They couldn't park a truck without getting it towed. They were harassed day and night. And Rizzo was pretty open about it. He didn't agree with McGovern. He didn't agree with the party's candidate, so he went with his own. In some ways, we need more people with that state of mind now instead of just straight party, straight party. I'm a Democrat, but this city would be a lot better if we had more Republicans just to balance things out. Politicians only work when they're scared. And what Democratic politicians scared in this city? Nobody.
Well, I'm wondering if we could take a look at some of the dialogue that you've created for the play. We have the script here. I'm looking at page 75.
Okay.
Since I'm a reporter, I'll play the part of the reporter. And since you're the author, why don't you play the part of Rizzo?
I could play Rizzo's left leg, okay? I mean, I'm a little wrong for this part.
How do you plan to finance all the promises you've made?
When I'm elected, the liberals will be lined up to jump off the Ben Franklin Bridge. I figure we charge them $6 a head, we'll make out okay.
What made you go into politics?
I'm not a politician in a real sense. I prefer to think of myself as an administrator.
However,
I can't be bothered with everything that happens, all those details. I'd wind up in intensive care.
you threatened to fire 4 judges, 2 blacks and 2 women.
Don't go making this about race. They're too damn lenient. What we need is our own electric chair, a lot quicker. I'll personally pull the switch if they run out of people who want to do it. I'm available.
You promised to clean up
This is why you're a reporter.
Try that again. You promised to clean things up, but you've been hiring a lot of your friends.
Of course I give jobs to my friends. Who you want me to give them to, my enemies?
You passed over senior ranked, more qualified candidates to appoint your brother, Joe, as fire commissioner.
Yeah, they called that nepotism. I didn't know what it was, so I called my brother and said, Joe, did you pick up anything when you were stationed in Japan?
The New York Times recently called our police force the most brutal and repressive in America.
Total garbage spread by the do-gooders. Me? Brutal? I got doves flying out from all over me. I lift my arms, they're flying out of my armpits.
What about crime?
The streets of Philadelphia are safe. It's the people that make them unsafe. Those are all direct quotes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So he can say things about, I got like doves flying out of my armpits.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't make up that dialogue. No, and that's and actually that is a good line. The streets are safe. It's the people that make them unsafe. I mean, that whole thing about nepotism and his brother. Those are all direct quotes of things he said, and they certainly sound like him.
He was famous for being a very charismatic guy. He was on the news for a reason because he was great on camera.
Oh, yeah.
He gave a great soundbite and he gave a great handshake.
Yeah.
So as the character, he's kind of a gift to a playwright.
No,
like you?
actually, it's just the opposite, Peter. Just the opposite, because I thought the same thing when Theater Exile and I talked about this. And Joe Canu said, what a great character, Yeah, in sound bites, he's a great character. Try and build a play around someone who has no contradictions within him. It's a boring character, because any situation, I started writing the play, and every situation I put him in, it was foregone conclusion how he was going to react. And that makes great on the news or a talk show, but for a play, you need characters who surprise you. You need characters who have shades of gray, and there's no shades of black or white with this guy. And I went, I panicked. I said, I don't know if I can write this. It's going to be boring. And plus, we all know the story, at least around here. So what I decided, I said, all right, what makes this guy fascinating is the polarization. That there are still people who have shrines to him in their living room, and there's still people who like to go out and throw paint on his mural at the Italian market.